Hello. How are y'all? My name is Antoine Hunter, also known as Purple Fire Crow. Welcome to the Bay Area Deaf Art. We got workshop discussion, January 30th, 2021. We've done 3 weeks of workshops and explored discussion. Now the gallery offers 3 weeks left, and so this has been an incredible honor. I'm excited, but before we start, I need to acknowledge the land that I stand on, the Ohlone here in California, the Ohlone tribe of the indigenous people. Bay Area, Ohlone, as you may be aware of, was colonized. So I'm also known as Purple Fire Crow. It's my indigenous name. I'm Cherokee, Blackfoot, and some may need a visual description. So I have milk chocolate skin, got it from my mama. I have about 3 feet long locks. Locks are black, ebony, bushy, black beard. My shirt, it's a t-shirt. It's blue, and it's a Black Panther. Well, a member of the Black Panther sitting in a chair. The symbol is yellow, and on top there it says Oakland. I have a red backdrop. This is my studio, and I'm excited to be here. So this is a huge honor. I hope y'all are excited. So what is today's discussion gonna be about? Well, so again, January 14th through February 21st, there are several artists who have posted their projects and artwork. And so I'm gonna bring on my friend to have a discussion today. Oh, this is the wrong person. Oh, there he is. That's the right one. Ian Sanborn hails from New Hampshire. He works as a community service coordinator at a deaf counseling advocacy referral agency for Eureka branch in California. Performance arts of the likes as ASL storytelling, ASL poetry, and many other art forms. Many people are familiar with his caterpillar story. He's on YouTube, several vlogs. Paintings have been his hobby since 2012. At his last paintwork collaboration with ASL Love, an organization in San Francisco. He was also a member of the Deaf Broadway in NYC. And on Sunday, Park with George. He's passionate in arts and continuing to inspire others. So what's up? Come on, pop on in, Ian.
Wow. It's so great that you were able to connect with ASL Love and partner with them. Since 2012, is that right?
Well, let me clarify. 2012 is when I immersed myself into the artwork of painting. And then later on, I collaborated with ASL Love. And since then, since that introduction and joining ASL Love, it's really kind of inspired a different way of my art project. So, they helped me kind of immerse myself. And, I was kind of, just playing along, playing with art. And since meeting them, that's when I got really immersed into it.
Let me pull up that slide again about ASL Love because some people might not be familiar with them. So this is a Bay Area organization, and they have many deaf artists that produce a space to express themselves in and around the community. They gather other artists together and partner with them to show their work. Oh, you'll have to excuse me, I have the wrong person. Let me see, you'll just have to follow along with me. Sorry. Taking a look at this work that you've done. Wow. Wow. Tell me about this work. I mean, you've been involved in these paintings and now they're being shown in the gallery exhibition. Just tell me a little bit about those few paintings and, you know, A to Z. Tell me all about it.
First of all, ASL Love. Their vision is boundless. Collaborating with deaf artists, taking those artists and immersing them of different arts, right? At that time, ASL Love was kind of in its inception. You know, they contacted me for a piece of art. So A to Z includes, just like the letters we were using, taking a letter and expanding. So so myself and other painters, the founders, we wanted to, add some text with an expansion correlation to everything that was going on in the community, politics, collaboration, anything that was impacting our community. Me typically, I was just doing it for fun. I'd get a canvas, not think too much of it. But since 2012, I think that from about in 2017, I really kind of expanded my mind into having more of an interest, something that was done that was affecting our society or something I was doing personally. If it was related to politics, related to culture. And so all of these paintings that I were developing just kind of fit with ASL Love. The colors, the vibrantness, it popped.
Yes, it's amazing to see So many people have said that, with your ASL stories that you've done, so much talent that you have. And, many people talk about your ASL story, The Worm. You're so, the caterpillar, you're so renowned for that. And you are such an expressive artist. So tell me about that, your artwork, your storytelling, the caterpillar.
Relating to the storytelling, poems, expression, uh, my paintings. Interesting. It's interesting that the poems, and the storytelling. Prior I was working at a public school. It was a program, a small program with deaf students, and a lot of it was focused on the sim calming and oral communication. And then I had the opportunity of entering into a predominantly deaf school, and just that freedom, the liberation. This is my story. So that was when I started public education. I started in public education, and then transitioned from a hearing school to a predominantly deaf school, and all of that has been this part of this journey that is being expressed through my art.
And you're a good dancer as well. You're quite the dancer as well. Um, Many people don't know what's in the gallery. So we'll have to bring you back for more discussion later so that we can talk about your work that's
Thank you, thank you,
involved.
thank you for hosting the event.
Peace.
Now I have my other cool friend. Let's go ahead and take a look at her bio. She is an incredible and remarkable person. Goonga was born in Mongolia. She was born hearing, but started to lose her hearing at a young age. And due to medication that she was using saved her life. At the age of 10, she became profoundly deaf. She grew up in an oral world until the age of 16. She then began to meet and learn Mongolian Sign Language. She then later completed her education with a master's in fine arts in Mongolia. She has given opportunity to spread her wings and open her heart to travel the world to more than 50 countries, meeting so many friends. In 2003, Goonga had the chance to produce some fine art pieces that sold in an auction in NYC. Wow. Many of Goonga's artworks are still unseen by the public. She has many talents, including sewing, sculpting, reholstering, surrealism, abstract, and any art. She also has been involved in several deaf productions, short films, including one from Deaf Hope. I love that organization. So that's my friend's bio. So come on. So let's welcome Goonga. Hey, how are you? I'm really excited, you know, to really explore the artwork that you've posted in the gallery. So I'm going to go ahead and show one piece.
Okay.
This is only one of many, yeah?
Yes, yes, I do have some others if you're interested in seeing. Um, I am so thankful for Soma Arts and um, their honoring of our work. When I landed in this country, I really wanted to see the artwork that's are displayed in museums, the emotive expressions that comes through from this work. And so I really wanted to just dive into the museum scene, the art scene, and take in all these different styles of work. And I was looking for where are the deaf artists? You know, I only saw a few. It was rare that I came across work by a deaf artist. And so for Soma to collaborate with us and put deaf art on display for all to see, I think it is so amazing. And your company as well to partner with them, it's fantastic.
Thank you. So the piece that was recently shown, I think it's the yin and yang, yeah?
Yes, it's the zodiac piece, the zodiac sign, and it's called Yang Yin. That was maybe 15 years ago that I was just focusing on my art. I had just moved here to the Bay Area and I was, trying to navigate this space. And so I really just wanted to settle in, decompress, and work on that piece. And it just correlates with your emotions so well. Just your spirituality, everything just is seamless. And I wanted to combine that Asian element and that American element that I now have and show that emotion. And so that was the perfect way that I wanted to display that. And also, I have a tattoo to display that as well, one matching with my husband.
Wow. Wow, you have boundless talents. You know, the pieces that are in the gallery, I think you have one piece that's sculpture. What is that?
That hand space, yes, yeah, the abstract piece. I really wanted to be hands on and make something with my hands, something with texture that I could feel. And I wanted to display hands and what they do and how they move. I wanted to show their behavior. And so I had, praying hands and different shapes and structures. I had a really good friend who is also deaf. I met them, I believe, when I was 16, and I was so inspired by their work and their art. They are very well known for their work, and they helped develop my visuality, my own vision, and what I wanted my work to take on. And so we would navigate through the artistic world, develop my style, and we would try and try again. As they say, if you fail at first, try
Well,
again.
yeah.
If at first you don't succeed. And so, I kept trying and I failed, but I persevered. And I ended up developing my own style of art. And that led to, just opening myself up as an artist and entering into the art world.
Wow, it's fantastic that you can find somebody to kind of mentor you through and not having to do and feel, isolated. So the pieces in Soma Art Gallery with the fabric that you sewed,
Yes, yes, it was from fabric.
So, is it important that you kind of, reflect your culture? Is it the color? Is it the type of, shapes? Is it, something that is correlated to being flexible and with movement? What's something that's important for you? What are some priorities regarding your garments?
Well, I love old-fashioned items. I love to reuse and recycle. And so, I will gather an antique and an artistic and old-fashioned item, and I will refurbish it, I'll reupholster it, I will care for it, and I will use that in an artistic design of mine. And in my home country, Mongolia, our family was nomadic. And so they passed on that value to me to cherish those belongings and to be able to use them and to use colorful, wild materials in my work, to be able to use items that will really draw in the viewer's attention. And it's not all about riches, it's about using what you have to create something. And so I'll cut things up, I will adjust things, and I will use, my sewing machine, and I will turn that into something completely different. And so that's something I learned along the way. And my mentor showed me and exposed me to how I can take in those elements from my culture and use them in my art. And it really is so important to have a support system and values from home.
It's spelling Mongolia. Okay.
Yes, Mongolia, that's where
Does
I'm
Mongolia
from.
have a sign?
Yes.
Their sign from Mongolia?
This is how you say Mongolia, right here, your index
Mongolia.
finger on your eyebrow. Mongolia. And so I learned from my people and my culture.
I think there was an old American sign for Mongolia before. Is that right?
Yes,
Yeah.
it used to be the G hand shape brushed from the side of your mouth.
I think it's amazing that we can kind of let's. This is your sign name, yeah?
Yes, this was my old sign name. My artist friend, my mentor, the first person I met, when I was still discovering my deaf identity, they gave me that name sign. And this is the letter G in Mongolian sign. So that was why they gave me this first name sign. And then when I moved to America, somehow it changed because of my smile and it ended up evolving. But I wanted to go back to the first name sign that I was given back in my home country of Mongolia.
Yeah, back to your culture, back to the original. Yeah, that's right, man. You don't need to change and try to adapt to where you are here in America. No,
Right.
letting your culture really be displayed. So, what I would like to do is go ahead and invite Ian back into the conversation.
Okay. All right.
Ian, come on back. Yeah,
Hi, Ian. Welcome back.
it's good to see you. Have y'all two met before?
Yes.
Yes, we have.
Way back in the day. I loved his work, The Caterpillar. Ooh.
Have y'all met? Is this the first time that you guys have had pieces within the same gallery?
No, but back in 2014, was it?
Yeah, I think 2015.
Ooh, quite a while ago. Honestly, my first time, I was in a limo. It was so nice. And when I got out, I went into, the room where we were staying, and it was quite dusty. I couldn't see anything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Back, Burning Man. Yeah, both of you guys having the art pieces that really the experience and sharing and having the opportunity of the exhibits of all deaf artists.
I mean, different countries have so many different artists that we can learn from, be inspired from, and they pop up few and far between, but we can gather together, collaborate together, and learn from each other.
Yeah. Art doesn't only mean dance or painting. Art doesn't have one discipline. People are doing art at home. We're kind of seeing more people kind of just put something out there. And it's something amazing where people, are kind of putting something together where people can come together and demonstrate their art together. And, I think, yeah, deaf art is definitely evolving. And I think somebody had made a comment. It's true. Evolution is art. Evolution is deaf art. A lot of people don't understand why deaf art is paramount. Why is that?
I am a teacher, I am an artist, Antoine, and for 15 years, I have been working in the school system, the mainstream system. I've worked in deaf schools, and so many children's talents are hidden and swept under the rug. And I just want to raise them up. They have so much talent, so many gifts. We have to invest in them and develop their skills, give them the confidence. I have some other students themselves that are transgender, and they have such amazing artistic abilities, better than my own. And we have to be able to open the doors to show their work so that they have representation. Because I've been looking and looking and looking worldwide for some of these artists to be able to be seen. And we have to capitalize on these opportunities and pass it forward to them. They need support. We need to support deaf artists.
Yes, I'm 100 in support of that. It's about awareness, evolving the awareness, uh, and really exposing them to the history. That's key. Exposure to the rest of the world. Recognizing that there's people all over the world. Deaf doesn't only mean that we can't hear. Deafness is inclusive. It's deaf late. It's deaf blind. Hard of hearing. Antoine says deaf disabled.
Absolutely.
There's deaf trans.
Absolutely.
There's deaf. There's deaf gay. I mean, any word you can attach to the deafness is so diverse. This Soma exhibit, I wanted to display the diversity of the stories. It's not just talking about deafness. There's so many things that people have to share. Some people think, sure, being deaf, yes. But you as an artist, are you a deaf artist or just simply an artist?
Well, that I had a similar experience growing up. I was hearing. And when I began to lose my hearing, my parents, they wanted me to stay in the hearing environment and not go to a deaf school. And so I didn't think of myself as deaf. I didn't have a deaf identity. And so I had to learn how to communicate orally. And later in life, when I was about 16, again, when I met my first deaf friend, that's when my world opened up. And I could see all the things that I was denied as a deaf person. And so the older I got, the more I could see those two worlds, that hearing world, that deaf world, and the separation between the two. And communication with my friends growing up, it was all oral, all spoken. And when I met new friends, it was becoming more and more of a challenge, having to communicate in spoken language. And so I then immersed myself in the deaf world, who accepted me, where I could communicate, I could be a deaf artist. And so it's still a process of, am I a hearing artist? Am I a deaf artist? Where do I fit in? Because I did grow up in that hearing world, and my deaf identity didn't come until later. And so when I came to America, it was a new opportunity. So for 15 years, I haven't labeled myself as a deaf artist, a hearing artist. It's been an artist. And those two worlds have given me different experiences, and I teeter on both edges of those worlds.
So you feel like you're being pulled and you don't know which way that you're swaying and trying to really identify where you are in discovering through your journey. Yes, this is Ian. I relate so much. I was in a mainstream school, and then I had the experience in a deaf residential school. But do I label or identify myself as a deaf artist? I don't know. My roots come from a hearing, predominantly hearing culture. I'm not French, but I have this this French bonnet on. So, am I a deaf artist? Am I just simply an artist? I mean, that's a valid question, Antoine. It gives me something to think about. Food for thought, huh? So thank you for that. It's really powerful. People want to know who you are. People just want to know. I always tell people I'm human. I'm trying to create a space so where I can express myself. When I was growing up, the world didn't allow me to accept and express myself. So I elected to isolate myself from the world. It was deleterious for my life at that time. What I wish now is that I had a deaf role model. Did you guys have a deaf role model growing up? This is Ian. it's interesting, huh? A role model. Most of the women, or most of the people that I had that were my role models were women. My mother signed, my father, seldomly signed. When I got into the deaf residential school, I was, trying to develop good social skills. And so later on in life, I started picking up male role models, but I started off with women, female role models.
And for me, the male female role model, that wasn't necessarily what I was looking at. What I was looking at was their experience, who they were, their talent, their capabilities, their mindset, and so it was more so about their skill and their work for me, and their art. That was what I looked for in a mentor. And do you know Da Vinci, that French artist? I mean, I was fascinated by his work. I was really drawn in by it. And so when I was looking for a role model, I was looking for somebody that had the skill and the talent, but that had a newer outlook on art and could bring it into the modern era. And that's what I found in the mentor that I had, in my deaf mentor. Somebody that looked at hand shapes, and it was beautiful work. What was the name? I might have spelled it wrong. Yes, and they unfortunately they passed away, but their art was beautiful. And you could see so evidently that it was a deaf artist. It was evident in their work. And so that's what I looked in for a mentor.
Oh, you just refreshed my memory. CB, yeah. The deaf artist, somebody that I revered. He was my teacher for 2 years. He was my first, really in depth, engrossed into a teacher where I can just be consumed by. For a teacher who was teaching in sign language, mostly it was done through an interpreter. Yeah, Chuck, is it B Baird? Yeah, Baird. Yeah, I remember meeting Chuck. Yeah, yeah, that it brings back memories. We talked about a lot, reflecting on artists. Kind of breaking down the barriers for us. Leaders in our field, and Chuck was one of those. He had remarkable work. The hand shapes. I think what's one famous, we did the American one. He used American hand shape, the sign for America, and kind of insinuated the flag. He had the turtle, and he used this hand shape to reflect a turtle. So he's such a golden person. Last week we spoke about another painter, Guy Woodward. Unfortunately, he'd passed away. It's important that we reflect and acknowledge the people who opened the floodgates and the doors for us. That's what we're doing right now, talking about that deaf history. We can't lose that. It's all of these stories, these folklores of things that we treasure.
We have to hold on to it.
Let's segue into deaf children. Why is it important that we have representation
Well, deaf representation is so important. And just as we were talking about Chuck Baird, his work was distinctively deaf, and he showed his creativity and his technique in his work. And so to be able to pass that on and to provide that same motivation is so important, because without that creativity, that imagination, you have to, think about what you want to portray before you go ahead and produce your work. And so it's so important to bring children to museums, to expose them, to develop that creativity in them and foster that sense of imagination. Because just as the two of you were saying, we need role models, people that we can look up to, artists that we need to be those artists that expose the next generation, because it can be hard to find. Like, where is Chuck Baird's art? It's in the community, but we have to share it.
Yeah, you gave me something to think about. With technology, I think maybe there's several, vlogs, uh, you know, that I've made, and for example, like the caliber of the story that became increasingly popular years later. So I gave a workshop one time, and the students they were just so cute, 3 or 4 years old. And I was like, how do I teach them? I was like, well, okay, let's just go for it. They were preschool, elementary, middle school, high school. Um, uh, but I was like, I've had experience with them, but preschool, what do I do? So I was like, oh, action, expression. So I did a vlog, and that caterpillar story. And so I had them see, I had them do the flog, the hawk.
The rooster. Mm-hmm.
And so there was that rooster story. And all the kids perked up, and I was using drums. And so it was fascinating that some of the kids were following the rhythm. Uh, and it was a fascinating experience. So, but yes, we need more and more of that exposure.
I want to ask you so many questions about that, but I think that the audience will as well. So let's see what the audience has to say, what the questions they have. So we have Ian and Gunta. Let's see what the audience has to say. They're watching via Facebook and live stream platforms. So this is Urban Jazz Dance Company, and that's where they're watching it online. So let's see what the audience has to say. Are we ready for some questions from the audience? Gunga saying, I'm going to try my best.
Ian says, yep, me too.
What are all the demands for modern life? How do you prioritize your art with all of these demands that you have? Do you have any routines, tips that you can share about how to prioritize your art? And Gunga is saying, yes, well, with modern day and the modern style, you have to, and comparing this to the older styles that really founded the artistic field, you have to still produce that style of art and cherish it and hold on to it, but you can incorporate the modern kind of art, like those drums and the rhythm and the modern style. So that's my goal, is to, you know how I was saying, to reuse, recycle, and I sew things, I create things with my hands, because it's so crucial that we value our earth and take care of this planet that we've been given. And so to make art out of crowns and shapes, and to be able to value our history and our heritage and incorporate that, infuse it with modern style, that is what, you know, shows that representation. Antoine is saying, and that's in your daily practice. You continuously do that every day. It's a part of your being. It's a part of who you are, your tradition, your culture that you preserve. I like that. I love that. Ian, do you have anything that you want to add?
Huh. Body parts. Your hands, mind, eyes, feet, legs. These are your tools. The skills that you develop with your body, recognizing, identifying. When you can identify something, it resonates with your body, right? It sets an alarm off of connecting. So for me, I pay attention to myself. Sometimes it's good to just allow things to just kind of pass on and not really pay too much attention to, and because you need that break. But if, as you're going and you're going along and something doesn't sit right, well, whether it's just be attentive. It's really important, yes, to prioritize. It's important to maintain history. It's important to show art. It's important for our community.
Someone once said that for art, it is self-care. Art is a form of self-care. So what do you do to take care of yourself? To take care of yourself and the community. When you take care of yourself, you are, in essence, taking care of the community around us. Now, Mongolia is very close to Russia. That territory, it used to be controlled by Russia. Is that right, Goonga? Well, no. My country, Mongolia, is surrounded by China. So quite a long time ago, historically speaking, there was a war between Japan and Mongolia. And so there were 4 horsemen, and they rode cross country to seek help from the Japanese invasion. And so Russian aided Mongolia in this fight until there were about 4,000 people left. This was in 1909. And so that was really the birth of the country, but it wasn't necessarily an occupation. But during communism, that's when we became independent. And so now we are a fully independent country, free from Japan, and we've been free since the 1990s.
So yes and no, right?
Now, Antoinette is saying, a question for both of you, Gunga and Anne. When is Art Awareness Month? I don't know if you can answer that if you know the answer.
And I think, is it related to art or is it related to Deaf Awareness Week? Often maybe art shows up within Deaf Awareness Week, but I think so.
Yeah, that's a good question. Gunga, do you have anything to add? Well, I'm thinking about it. I don't know. In all honesty, I don't know either. Antoinette's saying, well, we have Deaf Awareness Week, Deaf Awareness Month, actually, where we recognize deaf artists, deaf historians, deaf dancers, deaf everything, and that's a full month.
Yeah.
Gunga saying, so then maybe that is what they're speaking of, a deaf month. That's so great. I'm not sure the answer to their question specifically, though. Antoine saying, do we have a Deaf Awareness Day? Do we know when that is?
I think it's the first week in September or in March, I think. I could be wrong, though.
Yeah, October, it's the whole month. September, it's the whole month. That's when we show different deaf art, deaf everything. And I think, I'm trying to remember my history. I could be wrong.
I think this year there's just been a numerous amount of vlogs, and people have been reaching out to me. Back in March, it correlated to stories and expression. Some people were reaching out to me during that timeline. So for whatever reason, March is ringing in my head.
Next question. Ian and Gunga, what's next for your fabulous art? Oh, thank you. I love that question. Thank you, Abby. I'm looking forward to beginning a book, actually.
Book?
Yes, an artistic book. I think I want to illustrate, and I'm going to be working on that for the foreseeable future, really drawing and illustrating sign language.
My next fabulous art project. Poem, dancing. That's kind of where I am right now. Because I've done this, I've done that, and so how do I take all of that and create something new? So I'm not really sure what exactly my next art project is going to look like.
Ian, I don't know if you're going to have a workshop about it, but somebody did send me a personal message, and it was about the Rooster story. So I wonder if you could show that.
The story?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they want me to perform the Rooster story. So the Rooster, is that the one that can we play music?
I mean, I think so. Let's see if we can perform that Rooster story.
I could. I mean, if time permits.
I mean, it's not an hour story, right? It's quite short.
Maybe I could do a condensed version of maybe in less than a minute.
Perfect.
I mean, there might be some details that are missing, but sure. This Rooster story.
So excited.
Okay, here it goes.
Woo! So fun.
This brother be working hard. Beautiful story, and I remember seeing that performance at the Def Louder performance. Yeah, in San Francisco. I think you had a story that incorporated 3 different people, members. It was like I love, thoroughly enjoyed that deaf storytelling. You know, a lot of people don't understand that we don't all see the same way. You know, there's a hearing way, you know, a deaf way. You know, the goal is to learn, and absorb, and allow that to mixing all of that together for the nutrition of the body and allowing all of that to be able to, resemble respecting one another. Often we don't take the time to listen to each other. We don't take the time to learn from each other. When people are apathetic to understanding one another. I know we're almost close to wrapping up. How about, would you like to let the audience the last word, let the world know? Do you have a last word that you would like to share?
Well, I have traveled far and wide, and here in America, I have really fallen in love with California. The weather is beautiful. You can't beat it. And it's a little bit disappointing that COVID-19 has impacted, the world as it has. It has, isolated us, but it has also revealed that we have to take care of one another, value one another, cherish this earth, and really just keep persevering and navigating through this. It's so important that we support our community, that we reuse, recycle, that we contribute to the health of our ecosystem, that we buy from each other, that we support each other, that we learn with each other. So anytime you can call me, we can work together. And I think it's so important that we really ground ourselves and settle into a community to be able to support one another, to learn how to think, how to learn from another artist and be able to apply that, to be able to teach each other, to be able to grow the next generation, using those drums and the music and the rhythm that you did, Ian, how you utilize those tools. And so here in my home state, my family during COVID-19, we've made sure to stay socially distant, but to do activities. And the deaf community can do the same thing. We can support each other. We can stay socially distant, but at the same time, do activities and uplift one another.
If for the audience matter, if you guys would like to follow Goonga, you can follow her Facebook and Instagram. Her Instagram is @Goonga. She also has a website, www.goonga.
The website's it's not working at the moment. It hasn't been working. I've been trying to fix it. Okay. So if you want to get in contact with me, Instagram is the way to go.
Okay. So go to her Instagram. I really appreciate your work, Goonga. How about you, Ian? Would you like to let the people know? What would you like to let them know? Well, really art, just in general, can be energy. It can be a way to drive yourself. It can be a challenge. I've been experiencing that myself as an artist. I feel like, yes, I'm a natural artist, but there's days that I feel lost. I ask myself, Ian, where is your art? With COVID, my habits of thinking have really changed. What I'm exposed to. So we as artists need to, support one another, support people out there. Art is in you. Your art is not lost. You might just be chilling, and something pops up one time. So just remind yourself, you are art. So Ian's Facebook is Inside the Mind of Ian Sanborn. That's his Facebook. His IG is at I Heart Trout. Yes, it's IHEARTROUT.
That threw me off the sound of it. It's ironic.
Oh, some people think, oh, I hear trout. Oh, no, 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 no. No, that's funny. Thank you two for sharing with us today. Oh, people, don't leave. Don't leave. Next up is our workshop with Gungaa. We're going to take a short break, but thank you, Goonga and Ian. Thank you so much. Ian said, thank you for hosting. No, thank
you,
you.
Antoine. Thank you. My name is Goonga. This is my sign name. Today I'm going to show you my art called Light Fish. And why did I pick fish? Interesting. Well, they are something special. When you think about a fish, when you envision where it lives, the first thought that comes to mind is how it lives underwater. And what's special about that is that underwater, can you speak underwater? Can fish communicate underwater? They can communicate, but you can't speak underwater. So, how do the fish communicate? Underneath their gills and their skin, the fish actually communicate through vibrations in the water. And so these vibrations travel far and wide throughout the water. And that is how they communicate. That is amazing. That is ironic and very similar to how the deaf community feels the vibrations, right? So that's why I want to show you how I sew these fish as a similarity to the deaf community and how we also rely on vibrations. Here are some of the supplies that you'll need for this project. You'll need paper, size A4, folded in half, scored down the middle. You'll need a pencil, a pair of scissors, and any fabric that you want, any design. This type of plastic needle is great for kids. This one for older, more mature, and this is the one that I use, this tiny one. You may need some pins as well. You'll need your polyfill, your fluff, and this is some cut up scraps of fabric. Are we ready to begin? have this fabric that I've used, this scrap of fabric. I can save that for a future project. However, these scraps right here, I'm not able to use these. And now what I do is I cut them up, reduce, reuse, recycle, and I save these to fill the fish with the polyfill, to fluff them up. We save everything, eco-friendly. Ta-da! How do you feel about that? Pretty simple, right? Now be creative with this. You can use anything that you have and make it any design. You can hang it in your car, you can hang it off your belt, you can put it on a keychain, maybe your car mirror, or even your Christmas tree. Anything you like. Hope you enjoyed. Have a wonderful new year. Happy 2020. Bye-bye.
That was cool. Now, we're not yet finished. I got something neat for you. Urban jazz dance performance. But before we, I want to say thank you to Goonga. Thank you for supplying us with your workshop. Yes, recycling is critical. So if you had a question regarding the fabric that she uses, where she finds it, connect with her on Instagram. So we ready for the performance?
Hey everyone, urban child dad the what?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you all for watching. Today was the grand finale of the panel and workshop. So I want to thank my amazing assistant, Zana. Zana, are you still here? Hey. Thank you. Thank you so much. Do you want to share a few words with the audience about the Bay Area Deaf Art?
Yes. Really, this exhibition and this gallery, this is the first time we're setting this up in the San Francisco area that's deaf-led. And this is, you know, a first in history. So that means that it's a rare occurrence. So we so appreciate the support of our audience, how it spread, how you informed one another of this event. And we love that the artists feel valued, they feel recognized, and we're supporting their work. And so we want to continue that. We want to continue getting the word out and showing deaf art. We have 3 weeks left, so keep blasting it. Tell your friends, tell your network.
So I'm going to show you guys just a very quick way of accessing the gallery. All right, we ready to see?
We're ready.
So here we are. You can go make sure you click learn more. It shows the events that are coming up, upcoming programs, virtual gallery experience. So keep in mind, remember, it's 3 weeks left. There's a lot more information about the packet, so the BADA info packet. So, right now it's things are starting to open up. So we'll see if we'll have the opportunity to actually be in person.
Hopefully.
Now let's go into the gallery. Oh, please fill out this update sheet. The newsletter, Soma Arts will send you information of upcoming events. We ready? Here it goes.
Wow.
We ready?
Can you sing Goonga's piece?
That's
Ian's piece. Yes.
Yeah.
There it is. So colorful. The colors pop.
I'm driving.
Yeah, we're coming up to Goonga's exhibit.
I don't want to crash into the wall.
Yeah, we have this area here, different artists' work. We have Drago. Wow. So beautiful. I love how the colors just contrast. They're so bright and beautiful. Wow, Antoine, so cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Now, why was I just kind of speeding through it? Well, because I want you to experience it yourself. I want you to explore. I want you to take it in yourself. This was not easy. It required an exorbitant amount of time, and also the people, their commitment. So thank you to all the artists who invested their time. Goonga, Ian, ASL Love, John, I think his last name.
Castro.
Yep.
And Orchid.
Yes, Orchid.
Sasuni. Drago. Yes. Gunga. Claire, Cassidy. Deepa. Deepa Arwal, I believe her last name is.
They're beautiful people. So yes, thank you. I have to thank Soma Arts up there in the right hand corner. Opportunity. The workshops so far have been incredible. Working with Soma Arts has been an incredible experience. It's been so much fun. Z, do you have a last message for the people? Urban Jazz Dance Company wants to let you guys know that we'll be hosting another event. So look out for that on the Urban Jazz Dance Company's website as well as their Facebook page.
Yes, watch out for that. And you can click the link or you can follow us on social media. That way you can get updates on all of our events that we're hosting. You'll get notifications. So just click on our social media sites and you can follow us there.
Oh, I'm so superhero.
Yes, they are amazing, amazing artists.
You know, this couldn't be possible without you, the audience members, coming and supporting over and over and over again. No, so go on YouTube, Facebook. You know, this is we wanted to make sure this was accessible for all, providing caption. You know, we incorporated the interpreters. So obviously, so yes, thank you to Kaylee. This is her name sign. And Jay.
Thank you, Kaylee. Thank you, Jay.
So remember, art saves lives. So whether it's cooking, whether you're in science, doing, you know, exploring in science, painting, there's in numerous ways. You know, the gallery was one way of just showing the skills and talents of these people. It's a way to provide a platform, and this is not enough. You know, it's BIPOC, deaf led. You know, and I wanted to use my platform for people to come together. So thank you, Jay and Kaylee, for interpreting. Who else should I say thank you to? Oh, of course, Urban Jazz Dance Company. Thank you for providing the performance today.
All of the staff, the support that we've received.
This, you know, this is the first one we've, you know, gone over time, but because I can't, it's tough. There's not enough, you know, time to thank everyone.
And you know, it doesn't stop here. It keeps going. Follow the artists. Many of them are doing amazing work. So follow them, give them some love, some support, uplift them in the community because deaf art is so important. We've been hearing these artists express their points of view and their stories for the last 3 weeks. So keep going, continue to recognize them. The artists here in the Bay Area and worldwide. We're still here and we will be here in the future.
But only if you continue to support it. If you don't continue participating, it will be lost. Just like Goongas, where it's passing. We have to learn and pass it on. You know, for hearing parents who have deaf children, you know, these children need that rich nutrition. And I mean, it doesn't matter whether you're deaf or human, or deaf or hearing, we're human. Right? Art does save lives. Yes, art is self-care. You have to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of the community. So by taking care of yourself, you are becoming the community. Do you have any other last words, Anna?
You said it. You encapsulated it all.
Oh, I think Z froze a little bit. But thank you all for watching. Until next time, peace, love. I'm out. Peace, love. Once again, I'm out.